Okay, I'm back just to show you that now that the chemical has evaporated from this book. As you can see, there is no hint of any kind of moisture damage on this book. And if you look at the interior cover, it's the same thing very closely. You can see. As mentioned before in the previous video, I recommended that you only use undo to remove tape if needed in bronze, copper, or modern books that have white page, white interior pages, because any kind of browning, tanning, or yellowing of the interior cover will not work. What you will do is you will leave a hint of moisture damage if the paper is not completely white like this one, and it will hurt the grade of the book. So for a Silver Age book, which typically have a lot of yellowing, browning, and tanning of the interior cover, unfortunately I would not recommend using undo to remove any kind of tape. It's almost best to leave the tape as is, because removing the tape will leave a moisture damage mark on the book. B, CGC sometime regard removing of tape as restoration. I can go into that in another issue, but tape is not restoration according to CGC, but removing of tape can get you a restoration label. So trying to understand that craziness. But anyhow, to illustrate my point, I pull out a beat up, water damage reader copy of Fantastic Four Annual that I have. As you can see, this book is pretty nasty. I can do a lot of things to this thing and it's not a big deal. As you can see, there is a lot of moisture damage there. What I did was I take a clean spot right here and I put 1 or 2 drops of that chemical undo on it. And as you can see, if a paper is not completely white, what happened is the dirt or whatever that caused the paper to be yellow will mix in with the chemical, and then when it evaporates, it leaves behind a moisture ring like this. It's very similar to any kind of water damage that you see in any book that's water damage. So you can see right here. This is why I do not recommend using undo on any books that is not perfectly white in the inside, because whatever caused the paper to be yellow will leave behind this kind of residue after the chemical evaporated. So leave the tape alone is my best advice for now when books that are not bronze, copper, or modern with white interior. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you guys. We have some time for this video, so I'm going to add one more topic. There is a common phenomenon that many of you may have seen. Often you see books on eBay or other places, or you might even own a few that look like this. There's a dark line that go like this, and then on the up and down the side. For those that's not familiar with what these are called, it is called sun shadow or dust shadow. It's an oxidation of the paper. You can Google that, dust shadow, sun shadow, and learn more about what they are. But I brought this topic up to explain that CGC does not grade this environmental flaw very harshly. This I would consider a moderate amount of sun shadow, light would be, something like that would be light. But when you have, 2 or 3 corners like this that have some sun shadow, it would fall in the moderate area. Heavy would be something much worse. I have seen book where, sometimes 1/3 of the book have a dark shadow over it. That would consider heavy. But for something like this, I have seen many 9.4 slabs in them, similar to PQ limitation. You're not going to find that many 9.6 or 9.8 or any 9.6 or 9.8 slabs that contain books with this kind of environmental flaws in them. But as far as 9.2, 9.4, you see plenty of them, and in many of those books there are other flaws that keep the book that kept those books in the 9.2 or 9.4 range, not just the sun shadow. So as with some other man-made flaws, there are a lot of leniency in the way CGC downgrade sun shadow. Now, before I go, I want to give you a quick demonstration on how it was created. Imagine this book sitting in someone's attic or basement, okay, just like this, and then another comic books or a stack of comic book, can be just more than just one, sit on top just like this. You can see just like that. As you can see, I lined up perfectly as if this was exactly how it happened. But imagine a book sit like this with one book or a stack of book above it, and this part is exposed to open air while the rest of the book is covered up by a top copy. What happened is, over years and decades, dust and other pollutants in the air will create the shadow that you see along the exposed edges of the book. Okay, and that's how this flaw were created. So once you remove the top, you will see the shadow. But that's how this happened to many books. It always amazed me to see books like this, because that's how it happened. And this copy is a beautiful copy with almost no flaws in them. So whoever it is that bought this copy left it there with some other books above it for years, if not decades, for it to accumulate this kind of oxidation on the edges. So untouched, unread, strange, but that's how this happened. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks.